My name is Nnenna Okore, and I'm an artist, educator, and researcher. I have a work titled Spirit Dance that is installed in the museum here, and it is about really just being more aware of our surroundings and the powers and agencies that materials have. So initially I started off thinking about consumption and excessive waste and energy use and all things like that, and using upcyclable materials, recyclable materials in my work like paper and found objects. From there, I kind of moved away and started working more with like fibers because I believe that they were a lot more sustainable and bio-friendly or eco-friendly, and they're also biodegradable. My work primarily focuses on environmental concerns and ways that we can become more aware about the things that we do to kind of help preserve our planet a little longer. I was also interested in expanding that conversation in the art discourse in general to ask the question, how can we be more accountable in our use of materials? How can we curb the excessive sort of use of things or the amount of waste that art generates? How can we be more mindful in our approach? While I'm not necessarily promoting the idea that the resins, the plastics, can't be used, I'm more so agitating for alternative materials that can substitute them or other ways that we might engage materials. I've been working with my own students as a teacher to maybe use other materials like corn or food sources to kind of create the mold, or try to create mold making and casting techniques using other alternative materials. They're not always as successful, but I think that if we can all be sort of thinking about alternative materials, then maybe someone might come up with some inventive way of solving some of the problems. I think it's because we're so fascinated with preserving and conserving things and creating long-lasting materials. I think that's part of where the problem stems. It is something that I personally have a problem with, because not only have museums sort of gone into a culture of preserving these materials, spending resources preserving materials, they've also helped to create a culture of disembodiment where people no longer engage with the work in very tangible and visceral ways. It's like for the sight only, and I think that for me takes away a lot from the experience, because like I argue, art should be an experience, right? And the experience should not just be experience of encountering, but experience of also having a tangible, intimate experience with the work. And we need to kind of begin to look at other alternative ways of engaging works of art, and kind of allowing them to exist in natural environments. That's why I was very excited when they asked me to propose an art piece for this open light well. I knew it was going to be exposed to the elements, and I was very delighted to explore that, because I think we cannot dismiss or remove ourselves from the experience of the elements. And so why should we make art that is kind of encased in shells and glass cases and all of that, when that's the experience is also includes other natural forces. So I take that as a provocation when I have an opportunity to create work for the outdoors. I love it, because I think it not only allows me to practice what I'm preaching, which is that we should not be so consumed with the idea of preservation, but we should be thinking about how we can expand material and social experiences beyond what is normal. Art is the voice that we kind of use to challenge the status quo. And so when we make art, we should not be afraid to break away from the mold and use that creative voice to kind of create a new way of viewing and thinking about things. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for interviewing.
You're welcome. Thank you.